This is my Yamaha DX7, and today we're going to talk about why so many people hate this thing. Oh yeah, and we're also going to play through my top 10 favorite DX7 e-piano intros. But first, before we do anything, here's what it sounds like. So I'll bet that right now half of you are feeling sentimental and nostalgic, and the other half of you have already left the video because this sound makes your skin crawl. So let's talk about why this thing is a little bit controversial today in 2024. So back in 1983 when this keyboard came out, it was absolutely revolutionary. It was affordable, it was portable, much more portable than something like this. So gigging keyboard players started carrying these around rather than a 150-pound Fender Rhodes. Also, it's a digital synthesizer. It uses FM synthesis, which means frequency modulation. This produces a very different sound than most of the analog synthesizers which had been around for quite some time. The DX7 does a couple of things very well. It's very good at plucked sounds. It's very good at bright sounds like slap bass or kalimba or harps, things like that. It's not very good at warm, analog-y string or brass type of sounds, at least in my opinion. This is not what it does well. You're better off going analog with a Prophet 5 or CS80 or something like that. But let's be honest here, the name DX7 has really become synonymous with that electric piano sound that I played for you guys earlier. Sometimes it's called e-piano, sometimes full tines in the later DX7 II model. It's all pretty similar. And the intent of the sound originally was to imitate a Fender Rhodes piano like this, but the resultant sound sounded nothing like a Rhodes, and that was kind of a good thing because it became its own sound and it became its own unique thing. So if somebody's producing a track and they say, oh, I want some DX7 here, which I don't think many people say at all in 2024, they are most likely referring to that full tines or e-piano patch. Right? That sound. So I've combed through the 80s and 90s and picked my top 10 favorite introductions that use that particular patch. Okay, let's get into it. So coming in at number 10 is The Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston. Now this one is interesting because it's not just a DX7 electric piano. There's actually a Rhodes underneath, so the two are combined and layered together, making for an interesting sound. Coming in at number 9, we're jumping to the 2010s with Beyoncé's Love on Top. Coming in at number 8 is a beautiful instrumental deep cut by David Foster. This is called Flight of the Snowbirds. It's a really short intro. It's just kind of a scale, but you'll see what I mean. Coming in at number 7 is Who's Holding Donna Now by DeBarge. Coming in at number 6 is How Am I Supposed to Live Without You by Michael Bolton. Coming in at number 5 is Sacrifice by Elton John. Coming in at number 4 is Sarah by Starship. Coming in at number 3 is The Best of Me by David Foster and Olivia Newton-John. Coming in at number 2 is After All by Al Jarreau. Finally, coming in at number 1 is my all-time favorite, Hard Habit to Break by Chicago. Not only is this a beautiful intro, but the entire composition itself is just a work of genius. It's amazing. As I was finalizing this list and practicing these intros, I noticed something kind of funny, which is that in some capacity as a composer, producer, or session musician, David Foster is on most of these tracks. And I think that's pretty amazing because he dominated the 80s as a musician, as a producer, as a writer, and he is one of the most notorious users of that classic E-piano sound on the DX7. So pretty cool and kind of funny. Also, I noticed that there is a way that people play the DX7 that's not like how they play other instruments. As musicians, we get feedback from the instrument, which inspires us and creates this kind of feedback loop or this cycle. And like when you sit down at a DX7, you're not prompted to like do something rootsy or earthy the way you would on a Rhodes. The DX7 is not funky. You know, I wouldn't go like... I wouldn't do that on a DX7. I want to go more like... Right, it just pulls like different harmonic and melodic and rhythmic stuff out of you. All of a sudden you want to play. So I don't know if that's because that's the established vocabulary on this instrument and that's what we're used to hearing, or if it's just naturally what the timbre, the feel, and the sound of this thing does to you and just how it inspires you. So anyway, guys, that's my list. Thank you for sticking around. Do these sounds, these intros, these songs inspire you and bring you back to a better time? Or do you absolutely hate them and hate the brittle, bright, bell-like texture of this instrument and wish that I would just throw it out the window? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you guys in the next one.